My name is Danny. I am a double major in English and secondary education, and I'm from the Tri-Cities here in Washington State.
Hello, I'm Aus. I am a biochemistry pre-dental major, and I'm from Spokane, Washington.
My name is Abdul Haq. My major is computer science with a minor in business and honors in economics, and I'm an international student of Pakistan, and my hometown is Murray.
So I grew up going to summer camp at Camp Spalding, which is pretty close to Spokane. The thing that made me decide on Whitworth, however, was all of the amazing staff. Most of them were from Whitworth. Just seeing the amazing people that Whitworth churned out was fantastic, especially growing up in a Christian household and then getting to come to a Christian summer camp and have these amazing God-fearing people on staff. And then when I decided to come and visit Whitworth, my tour guide was coincidentally a girl that I knew from my home church. So all of the stars just aligned and pointed right towards Whitworth, and that is how I made my decision.
So even though I grew up in Spokane, I actually didn't get to visit Whitworth until my junior year of high school. That was just a group visit with my high school. A year later, I applied to Whitworth through a full ride scholarship and made it far enough to where I was able to spend an entire weekend on campus. And I just met a lot of people. I got to meet staff members. I fell in love with the campus, fell in love with the community, and that really sealed the deal for me and made it a very easy decision to pick Whitworth.
There's a lot of factors that played a very important part in me deciding to Whitworth, but one of the most important factors was the fact that Whitworth is ranked pretty high for a very small college, and that is one of the very appealing factors that brought me to Whitworth, because as an international student you're a minority, and the bigger the college, the minor you get. However, Whitworth was offering a very high quality education for being a very small college.
Favorite class at Whitworth? Man, that's difficult. I've taken so many great classes from so many great professors. But I'd have to say my favorite was an English class I took over this last Jan term. It was called Homer to Shakespeare. It was an upper division English course with Dr. Jake Andrews. However, this was my most difficult class I've ever taken at Whitworth. We were reading probably around 200 pages every night for homework. We read 5 books over the expanse of our 3, almost 4 weeks. But just seeing how passionate he was about our text, how intentional he was about pointing us back to the main themes and the things that we needed to take away, and also how passionate he was about ensuring that we were enriched and becoming more literate in literature.
So being a science major, I would have to say my favorite class that I've taken so far has to be medical microbiology, taught by Dr. Frank Cacavo. I took that class exactly a year ago. It was the spring semester of my sophomore year, and that was because it's one of the prerequisites for a lot of the dental schools that I plan to apply to. And so I had no idea what to expect going into the class, but Dr. Cacavo presented the information very well. It was very fun, it was applicable, and I would say it was a very useful class. So those are some of the main reasons why it was my favorite class.
That's kind of a tough one now that I'm a senior and I've taken tons of classes, and all of them have been influential in their own way. But one of the classes that has really struck by me this whole time is Principles of Management by David Sloan. And that was my very first class with David Sloan, and I absolutely loved him as a professor. And the reason that I've really loved his classes has been because the focus is not merely on exams or assignments. It's on personal growth and just to grow as a person in that class. And that personal aspect has been one of my favorite things about his class.
My favorite place in Spokane is definitely the downtown area. I love going on walks at the Riverfront Park, love seeing the garbage goat and the big red wagon. I come from a smaller town, so walking around all the big, tall buildings makes me feel like I'm in a huge city. It's fantastic. Going at nighttime is just absolutely magical. Also, there's an amazing coffee shop there called Atticus, and I would highly recommend checking that out.
So favorite thing to do in Spokane, that's tough because there's so many fun things you can do. But for me, it's probably going on hikes with friends. In Spokane, we have a lot of great trails where you can hike. And so on weekends where me and my friends are not as busy with schoolwork, we would just pick a trail and go hiking and just enjoy our day. So that's probably my favorite thing to do in Spokane, but there's so many different things you can do, so it was very tough to narrow it down to one thing, but I would have to say hiking.
In my past 3.5 years now, I've absolutely loved Spokane, and for a very small city, it has a lot to offer. But me being an outdoorsy and nature person, I've loved the fact that Pacific Northwest specifically has a lot of hiking trails and so many outdoor stuff to offer. One of my favorite things to do during this beautiful weather is to go on hikes and just enjoy the nature. There we have Bolden Pitcher very close by. We have Mount Spokane hike, which I absolutely love. And then most of all, we have the downtown, and it's very pretty down there.
One thing I do for fun on campus is I really enjoy going on walks in the back 40. It's fun to take friends out and go through some of the different walking paths that are back there. Sometimes you'll see a deer or a rabbit, which is really, really cool. Other times it's fun to just walk laps around campus, walking around the loop, walking past your favorite academic buildings, or over to little corners of campus you don't typically get to see in your daily schedule. There are so many great places to walk around, and that is an amazing time to have an awesome one-on-one with somebody or just build relationships further.
So what do I do on campus for fun besides going to classes and homework, and those two are very fun, but my favorite activity to do on campus is go to the gym. I probably go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week, depending on how busy my schedule is. I think it's just a great way to shift your focus from school and focus on your health. And overall, I think it's just a good way to de-stress.
What do I do for fun on campus? That's a pretty tricky one, considering the fact that Whitworth has so much to offer. But I've absolutely loved being at Whitworth and just engaging in beautiful conversation around the fire pit at night, or playing outdoor volleyball, playing ultimate frisbee with friends, or going just in the back 40 and just taking a walk out there. And then at night I love to work out, so that just keeps me a little more busy and makes me utilize all the facilities that Whitworth has to offer.
Something that I absolutely love about the English major is how close-knit we are. We are like a family, all of us just there supporting each other. One example of this is we have an English major group chat where we either share funny English major memes, or we use it as a means of lifting each other up and making sure that everybody's doing all right, especially going through trying times.
Why did I pick biochemistry, and what do I love about biochemistry? So let me start off by saying that if you want to pursue a career in medicine, dentistry, veterinary, pharmacy, really any health-related field, they advise you to pick a major that would fulfill a lot of the science requirements for graduate schools. So I picked biochemistry just because I enjoy biology and chemistry, and in this major you really get to see them go hand in hand. So that's probably one of my main reasons and favorite things about my major. And it definitely fulfills all of my requirements for any dental school that I plan to apply to. So that's probably my favorite thing about my major.
So I lived in Ballard Hall, which is Whitworth's only all-female residence hall, for 2 years. And we are combined with our brother hall named Macmillan, and together we're BMAC. But one of my favorite fun memories or stories about being at Whitworth is definitely my first couple weeks of school. my freshman year, we have a tradition where everybody in BMAC is invited to come to dinner with us at exactly 5 p.m. on the dot. So we'll all walk over together, and we have a funny tradition that after 5:15 p.m., whoever is the first 2 people to finish their cup of whatever beverage they were drinking, they stack them and then touch their nose. And whoever is the last person to touch their nose at our table has to take everybody's cups in one huge stack with one hand. So my first couple weeks at school, I had the stack of cups at least twice. And it was so fun just being involved and everybody cheering my name when I would get it. And I just felt really like a member of BMAC and on a larger scale of Whitworth.
It's really tough to narrow it down to just one funny / favorite memory, but freshman year I lived in Stewart and all the guys enjoyed playing video games in Stewart, so every weekend we would just get together and just play games like FIFA, Fortnite, etc., and just have a blast. And fun fact, in my freshman year, I was undefeated in FIFA, so I was kind of the FIFA champion, and that was fun. Every other week we would have people trying to beat me, and nobody was ever able to, so that was fun. Those were probably some of the big highlights of freshman year.
Favorite memory at Whitworth? That's a kind of a tricky one, considering I made tons of good memories all along my 3.5 years right here. But being the special events coordinator for Associated Students of Whitworth University, I had the task to plan Springfest, which is one of our biggest events on campus at the end of the year. And last year it was a huge success with free food, tons of free food and free things given out to a concert, live show, a magician. So there was tons of those opportunities that happened, and that remains one of my favorite memories from my time being special events coordinator and at Whitworth.